Main event, one of the special treats for this year's online qualifiers was an opportunity to compete against their favorite pros in the FullTiltPoker.net Bounty Tournament. In this exclusive tournament, many of the game's top pros had price tags on their heads. In other words, a bounty. And the online qualifiers had a chance to collect big bucks if they knocked out the big names. Here's how it works. Each pro has a starting value of $250. An additional $250 is added for each World Series of Poker bracelet and WPT title. For example, take the Professor of Poker, Howard Lederer. As a pro, his starting value is $250. His 2 World Series of Poker bracelets are worth another $500, and his 2 WPT titles, $500 more. So, any amateur that knocks off the Professor wins a cool $1,250.
How much am I worth? 50 bucks.
My bankroll's 0. My bounty might be worth more than me.
So, there was a lot of money floating around the room. But the man at the top of the list, Erik Seidel, worth a cool $2,000.
Yeah, I'm a mark man.
The play started off friendly.
Come on, buddy. Get that guy out.
Mike, keep it down.
Have you been told you're beautiful yet today?
No.
Allow me to be the first.
But things soon got serious as the eliminations began.
Where's Bunny?
My skills as a poker player are non-existent.
Don't even talk to me, Mrs. Elizabeth.
The field dwindled as the amateurs stepped up their game, and Chris Menina earned the ultimate prize.
I think he's a student, so that $2,000 will come in handy.
Not a bad morning.
The field soon fell away, and top pro Alan Cunningham found himself heads up with online qualifier Derek Snyder. But Derek's dreams were shattered when his top pair was outkicked by the top pro.
One of my goals as a poker person was to actually get heads up with Alan Cunningham anywhere.
And in the end, Alan Cunningham took home yet another title.
A $2,000 bounty is pretty sweet, but how about a $1.2 million bounty?
That's even better, and you can see what's happened here. Gus Hansen has assumed the chip lead. It is very close after it looked like Jimmy Fricke was going to run away and hide. King 5 for Fricke. And Fricke is counting out a raise and will raise to $300,000.
Heads up, the button acts first before the flop on the small blind and acts last after the flop. So you'll see a lot of raising from that position. But Gus Hansen has a good hand in the big blind, Queen 10 suited.
Hansen will call. So both players to the flop. Jack 8 Queen and top pair once again for Hansen.
Check.
He'll check.
This is prime check raising position. Hansen knows that Fricke normally is ultra aggressive. There's the bet.
$400,000.
That's what Gus was looking for.
All in. All in.
And again, he says all in. Now, what will Fricke do this time?
Toss.
That's what he'll do. And Gus Hansen adds to his chip stack. So Gus Hansen all of a sudden has turned all the momentum of this head-to-head play and has widened his chip lead in the process. Jimmy Fricke playing catch-up. Different game, isn't it, playing catch-up?
Absolutely. You know, when you're the bully, you're used to pounding down victims. And as we know, the best way to deal with a character like that is give him a nice slap in the chops.
Play continues here. King, Queen suited for Hansen, and now cards starting to fall his way. $350,000 is the bet. And a King 9 for Fricke.
Heads up, that hand has got to look very big to Jimmy Fricke. He will certainly call, if not raise.
He calls.
Hansen has Fricke dominated. If a king were to come on the flop, this tournament could come to a quick conclusion.
And here is the flop. Jack 6 deuce on the flop.
Check.
Gus Hansen has 2 overcards and a monster flush draw. He's driving the bus.
$450,000 is the bet from Hansen this time. And Fricke reaching for chips.
A lot of chips. Each of those stacks is $500,000.
He can get himself in a heap of trouble here.
He's making a play.
1.5 million.
I'm all in.
And Gus instantly all in.
Gus is all in.
And look at the facial expression of Jimmy Fricke. Almost one of resignation.
The head shake, he knows he picked a bad time to make a play, and he will have to fold. Gus wins a monster.
So Gus will take another huge pot, and Fricke, once again, bad timing. Gus will have the lead. He will also have all the momentum. As this event continues, it's head-to-head play for $1.5 million Australian, $1.2 million American dollars. We're coming back to Melbourne. We welcome you back to the FullTiltPoker.net Aussie Millions. And we're at the Crown Casino site of the 2007 Aussie Millions. From your first steps inside the Crown, you'll be blown away by the opulent architecture of the Grand Lobby, awed by the sprawling atrium, and dazzled by the light and water shows. It's all found only at the Crown Towers. And again, a big thanks to our host at the Crown Towers. Gus Hansen sure enjoyed his stay, isn't he?
And why not? He's got nearly 2/3 of the chips. We're going to get to see Hansen playing from the lead rather than from behind.
Jimmy Fricke looking at a 4-3.
Cool.
And he will call.
Another ace for Hansen.
It's all coming at the right time for Hansen. He's going to count out a raise to 250,000. And Fricke will call, but look at the body language of Fricke.
Yep. You're right, Barry. I see a lot of resignation there.
To the flop, 6-5-8 on the flop. Hansen catches a pair.
I think this could be big action. Fricke also has an up and down straight draw.
Hansen will bet 375,000.
I could see Fricke both calling or raising here. He's not going anywhere with that hand.
And it looks as though he is just going to call.
Previously, we saw Fricke do a lot of re-raising. It seems like now he's in calling mode.
And on the turn, it is a 10, and that is of no help to Fricke. Check from Gus Hansen.
That 10 of diamonds allows Fricke to represent a flush. I expect him to bet here.
Check.
And he checks.
No.
And it is a king of hearts on the river. And so now let's see how Gus Hansen plays this. He checks.
That's the right play. I think he just wants to show it down. He knows that the only hand that calls him is a hand that beats a pair of sixes. So now Fricke makes a play.
He does 400,000.
400,000.
And in relation to the pot, that's a pretty small bet. I think Gus Hansen has just enough to call.
And he does. And Gus Hansen will win this hand. So Gus Hansen continues his dominance here. Once we've gotten to head-up play, it has been all Hansen.
And that face tells a huge story, Barry. The emotional temperature of this table has changed completely.